Hey everyone, Titan Crush here, and today we'll be talking about probably the fastest way to level up your gold hoarder reputation, treasure vaults. These quests have you tracking down a secret treasure vault and are my go-to method for leveling up gold hoarder reputation, whether it be to level 50 for Pirate Legend or 75 to max out the faction. You do have to be at least level 25 in the gold hoarders to purchase a quest though, so if you're not, you'll probably have to stick to the standard quests, or you could get a friend to help you out and give you a vault. But anyway, today we'll be looking at how to complete these quests, as well as some tips and tricks to help you out. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so when you're doing a gold vault, you'll have to collect pieces of a map to the vault key, which you will then need to use to open the actual vault. After that, you'll have a few minutes to get as much treasure out of the vault as possible before the door shuts and it floods with water. Oh, and there is a puzzle to unlock an extra special chest, more on that later. Now in terms of stats, like how much money you're gonna make or how long you'll be doing it, gold vaults are pretty variable. You could find the X on the map in only 2 pieces and get a bunch of loot from the vault, or you could spend a long time or not get that many chests. It's also important to note that there are 3 different levels of vault keys: stone, silver, and gold, which will determine what kind of loot you're going to get inside the vault. Obviously, stone will give you worse chests like seafarers ones, and gold's gonna give you a bunch of captain's chests. The quest will give you a stone key if you're between level 25 and 35 for the gold hoarders, a silver key between level 35 and 45, and a gold key for level 45 and above. So you'll want to grab the quest from the crewmate with the highest gold hoarder level. But from doing a gold vault solo with no emissary flag, I made about 15k in about half an hour, so about 500 gold per minute. But with a gold hoarder emissary flag which got to grade 4, I made about 20k in about 45 minutes, which actually ended with a lower gold per minute level at about 450. If I stacked 2 vaults and hit grade 5, it probably would have been higher, but you can see now how random it can be. And obviously you can do an Ashen treasure vault in the Devil's Roar for increased gold, but then you have to worry about things like volcanoes, geysers, and whatnot. But the appeal in gold vaults is not in the gold you get, which is not that great, but in the rep you get since you acquire so many chests. This again is variable, but it's also probably the fastest way to level up gold hoarder reputation besides doing world events. So now that you hopefully have a better understanding of the vaults, let's look at how to actually complete them. Stock up your ship with supplies and buy a vault from a gold hoarder. Also consider putting up a gold hoarder emissary flag. This is recommended for getting rep, but it also makes you a bigger target, so be careful. And now vote on the quest from your ship. At this point, you'll receive a golden wayfinder compass. It's a little bit tricky to use because it never points in one straight direction, constantly wobbling and shifting from side to side, but in between the points it shifts to is the way you need to go. Sail in that direction until you come to an island. If it's the right island, the needle will start to move a little more quickly when you arrive. Follow the arrow until it really starts to shake. This means that you're really close. When it starts spinning in a circle, like this, that's your cue to dig. You should get a bottle with a piece of a map in it, and occasionally some skeletons will also spawn and attack you. These guys often drop small loot items which will level up your emissary flag, so even if you're not going to carry the items back to your ship, I recommend just touching each of them once. After you collect the piece of the map, open your quest inventory and take a look at it, and you should see a part of an island. What you're looking for is an X marks the spot. If you can't see one, that means you'll need to repeat this process and follow the golden wayfinder to the next piece of the map. And keep in mind that sometimes it's on the same island. When you see the X, you can stop this process. If you see maybe the edge of an X, you could go to the island and try to kinda guess where it is, or just collect more map fragments until you can see it more visibly. But anyway, once you have the X, sail to that island. You should be able to identify it based on some of the features from the map fragments that you have. Go to the X and dig up the treasure chest. This one will contain a vault key. It will tell you where to go next. Sail to that island, and now if you look at the inscription again, it will talk about some animal or symbol like a snake or a boar. On the island with the vault, you will want to look for some rock paintings of that animal or symbol. Near those paintings should be a small square pedestal where you can insert the key. Now this can be a little bit difficult to find sometimes, so if you're unsure, you can easily find the vault locations online. But before you put the key down, wait. When you do, it will activate the vault and the time will start counting down, so before you do, take a moment to make sure everyone is ready and everything everything is in order. At this point, your ship will be pretty vulnerable, so if you have a larger crew, consider leaving one of your crewmates behind to guard your ship. If you're solo, just make a Reaper check on the map and make sure the coast is clear before you go. Also, this is a good time to decide on or confirm your game plan. Once inside the vault, you'll have limited time, you'll feel rushed, the music might make you panic a little, so it's a good idea to prepare a strategy. Decide who will focus on the puzzle to get the chest of tributes, who will grab loot, and who will take it out, and if you're solo, what order you'll be doing it in. If you're good on all of this, insert the key and a door will open nearby. Head in and you'll have a quick moment to prepare before the vault opens. So yeah, the vaults look something like this. You'll have roughly 3 minutes inside the vault, so maybe you want to set a timer to pace yourself. I've never really needed this though. There will be loot scattered across the place, with a lot of chests being at the very top of the room, which means, you guessed it, parkour. It's pretty easy to make a mistake and start panicking, especially if it's a new vault for you, but take a moment to really think clearly about how the parkour works and what the route to the top will be. Sometimes it's a little counterintuitive. When you get some loot, carry it out of the vault, but not all the way to your ship. Set it safely outside the door, but please don't put it right where the door will shut. Now you might notice an altar thing in the middle of the room, as well as some tiles at the back of the vault. You need to enter the right combination to get the chest of tributes. You can reveal clues by finding medallions across the vault though. They should be shinier than the rest of the loot and look like a little coin. Whenever you get one, plug it into the altar and wait a second for it to reveal one of the tiles. Now you can figure this out with no medallions and just brute forcing it, but I recommend getting at least 1 or 2 medallions and then solving the third from the remaining choices. You really don't need all 3, especially considering that sometimes you just can't find one. Basically, the symbols on the first, second, and third tiles should all appear on the last one. They are slightly different though, so it's important to check if there are, for example, horizontal or vertical chains, or if the lock comes before the key or the other way around, how the symbols are oriented, that sort of thing. So if you are doing this puzzle with fewer than 3 medallions, you'll need to line up the ones you do know, and then look through the options for the last tile to determine the other tiles. This sounds a bit complicated, but it's really not too difficult, especially if you get some practice with it. I'd worry more about the parkour. Try to get as much loot as possible out the door before it shuts. After it does, the room will flood with water that makes you drown very quickly. You may have noticed some gold piles in the room, and you can pick these up. However, they're worth less than the chests and other treasure items, so I would get them after you get the other treasure items out, or after the door shuts and you have nothing else to do. Now it's time to head back to your ship and load up the loot. Hopefully you'll hit Emissary grade 5 if you're flying it. If not, consider starting up the quest again and stacking 2 vaults to ensure you're getting maximum value for each treasure item. Otherwise, head to an outpost and sell your hard-earned loot. If you do have an Emissary flag at grade 5 and want to do the quest again, after selling and picking up your Emissary quest from the trading company representative, lower the flag and raise a new one. You get a bit of cash and rep every time you lower a flag, so if you're going again, you might as well start leveling up a new one to maximize the reputation you're getting out of this. Alright, that's pretty much it for gold vaults. Again, they're not the best method for gold, but they are great for gold hoarder rep. The vault room itself takes a little bit of practice, but it's not too difficult to figure out a system that works for you. But anyway, hopefully this guide has helped you out. If it has, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps me out and supports my channel, and it's free. And with that said, happy sailing.